Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers George Pickens stuns fans with unreal workout despite hamstring injury. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense will hope to pick up the pieces and bounce back in the AFC playoff picture in Week 16 against the Baltimore Ravens. Fortunately, it appears that star wide receiver George Pickens could be back sooner rather than later. A video circulated of the Steelers' practice on Tuesday, which showed Pickens doing lateral drills at a very rapid rate despite a hamstring injury, via 93.7 The Fan. This is what a grade 2 hamstring strain looks like from an athletic freak, per Mark Kaboly on X, formerly Twitter. While Pickens didn't participate in any drills on the field, or participate with the first-team offense, it's early enough in the practice week to chalk this one up as a positive note before Sunday. Pickens was forced to miss the last 2 games, after straining his hamstring in practice ahead of Week 14 against the Cleveland Browns. The team was able to escape the Browns in that one, but the 23-year-old wideout's absence was certainly felt in the Week 15 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Steelers accumulated 163 total yards, with Russell Wilson being virtually shut down through the air. Calvin Austin III paved the way for the Pittsburgh pass catchers with 5 catches for 65 yards, and was the only member of the Steelers' offense along with Pat Freiermuth with 3 or more catches. Van Jefferson, Ben Skowronek, Mike Williams, and Scotty Miller are the remaining options, but it doesn't appear at this point that any can fill the shoes of Pickens. Pickens will certainly bolster the team's chances if he does make it back for Week 16, as they desperately need a win against the Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium. He is on pace for a career-best campaign, racking up 55 catches for 850 yards and 3 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers had high praise for NFL coach on Tuesday. One big game on the schedule this past Sunday featured the Philadelphia Eagles, who are having a marvelous season, against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have arguably exceeded expectations so far. In that contest, the Eagles had their way with Pittsburgh by winning 27-13, and it may have been a reality check for Pittsburgh, who now has a 10-4 record. But they're still in first place in the AFC North, and New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers said on The Pat McAfee Show that he feels Pittsburgh head coach Mike Tomlin continues to do an excellent job there. There's only one Mike Tomlin, and he seems to understand how to motivate his guys every single year. I've always respected Mike, and I think he's done one hell of a job in Pittsburgh while Tomlin, who has been the Steelers' head coach since 2007, guided them to a Super Bowl championship in 2008. Perhaps the major feather in his cap is the fact that they have never finished with a losing record since he took over. That is an amazing accomplishment considering the amount of roster turnover that has taken place in recent years, especially after star wide receiver Antonio Brown and star running back Le'Veon Bell departed several seasons ago. This season, Tomlin has had to navigate around a potential quarterback controversy between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, and he made the tough choice to go with Wilson as the starter, even after Fields had gotten them off to a good start when Wilson was sidelined with a calf injury. Tomlin may not be a truly elite coach, and his team may not have the goods to reach another Super Bowl, but one could say he has gotten the most out of his men so far this season. While the Pittsburgh Steelers have been playing very good football all season long and have a 10-4 record, many people have never really trusted them as legitimate Super Bowl contenders. They fell hard to the Philadelphia Eagles, 27-13, on Sunday, and it was likely a reality check about where they are right now in the pecking order of the AFC and the NFL as a whole. Starting quarterback Russell Wilson sent a message afterward that he knew the process of becoming championship contenders wouldn't be easy, per Blitzburg. Never said it was going to be easy, but it'll be worth it, Wilson posted. Wilson completed 14 of 22 pass attempts for 128 yards and 1 touchdown on Sunday, and generally speaking, he has been very solid since taking over as Pittsburgh starter in Week 7. While their defense has often been rock solid this season, they have lacked that next-level offensive firepower that is needed to seriously challenge teams such as the Buffalo Bills and the two-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. They rank just 17th in passing touchdowns and 24th in passing yards through Sunday's loss. The Steelers had previously won 7 of 8 games coming into Sunday's contest versus the Eagles, and during that span, they seemingly made a bit of a statement with an 18-16 win over the Baltimore Ravens in Week 11. They will face the Ravens again, this time in Baltimore, this coming Saturday, and they will then host the Chiefs on Christmas Day before ending the regular season with a home game versus the Cincinnati Bengals on January 5. The next 2 games will tell the rest of the NFL a lot about what the Steelers are truly made of. Steelers targeted by Rex Ryan in fiery rant after loss to Eagles. The Pittsburgh Steelers were not able to end their 59-year losing streak in Philadelphia as the Eagles came away with an easy victory in Week 15's Battle of Pennsylvania. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin isn't too concerned about his team's loss to Philadelphia, but Rex Ryan has serious reservations about Pittsburgh. When discussing the game on ESPN's Get Up, Ryan sounded the alarm, saying that Steelers fans should be panicking after the 27-13 loss on Sunday, per Steelers Now. They're not as good as their record says they are. I mean, they really aren't. He's, Mike Tomlin's, a great coach, don't get me wrong, but ever since Russ took over, and this is why I liked Justin Fields better. The impact that Russ has had on the rushing game, they're absolutely atrocious running the football now. Look, that was to be expected. You don't have Justin Fields running the ball. But they are winning at a 37% success rate, averaging an incredible 3.8 yards per carry over that 8-game span, Ryan said. The Steelers fell to 10-4 on the season after their loss to the Eagles. The team is now 6-2 since naming Russell Wilson the starting quarterback. While Wilson has played well, opening up the passing game, Philadelphia shut the Steelers down in Week 15, allowing just 184 total yards of offense and keeping Pittsburgh off the scoreboard in the second half. The Eagles boast the best overall defense in the league, and the Steelers were playing without their top wideout, as George Pickens was forced to sit out with a hamstring injury. Mike Williams' plan to take over the WR1 role did not pan out as he was held to 1 reception for 15 yards. And, to Ryan's point, Pittsburgh managed just 56 rushing yards against Philly. Lead back Najee Harris took 6 carries for 14 yards, averaging 2.3 yards per tote. Harris also lost a critical fumble deep in Eagles territory in the third quarter that ended a scoring opportunity. The fumble was credited to Wilson, but Harris acknowledged it was his mistake. Adding injury to insult, the Steelers lost star edge rusher T.J. Watt to an ankle injury in the fourth quarter. Fortunately, Watt's X-rays came back negative and the team is hopeful that he won't miss any time with the injury. Despite the defeat, the Steelers clinched a playoff berth in Week 15 thanks to losses by the Indianapolis Colts and the Miami Dolphins. Pittsburgh is in the midst of a brutal schedule with 3 games in 10 days. The Steelers next take on the Baltimore Ravens in a huge divisional matchup on Saturday before playing the Kansas City Chiefs on Christmas Day. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Rex Ryan? Leave your opinion in the comments.